Hello. Welcome to tonight's Gers TV Live. Once again, you're joined with the kindergarten Gers TV, as was stated last night, with me and Dylan. Then shortly, Gordy will join us as well, running a wee bit late just due to train delays. Anyways, Dylan, we were live last night. Yep. I've not seen you in a day, a very long time. How are you?
All right, just the usual. What about yourself?
Aye, not too bad. For those who are watching, you'll have probably seen that we were live with Alan Wadlaw earlier on at 2 o'clock, so give that a watch. It's a very good interview. Here we are, just got to join us now. But yeah, make sure to give that wee interview with Alan Wadlaw a wee watch later on tonight. Got to join us just in a wee second. But yeah, we'll discuss the Old Firm at the weekend, but also more soon coming up, the St Mirren game tomorrow night. Gordy, how are you?
Some build up. Good, you're set up. Well, I think you've done that. Hope everyone's all right. I hope everyone's had a good Christmas.
Yes, absolutely. Yourself?
Sorry for my tardiness. Scott Real did its usual bang up job. Both trains delayed from where I stay and then to the studio, but all good. Yeah.
Yep, all good. And Dylan, you're looking forward to the next two games coming up?
I'm actually a bit nervous for tomorrow night, but I'm confident for the Old Firm. I think I stated last night in the show the physical presence that Mirren have up front will cause Rangers some problems.
Aye, well, obviously you're just joined by the three of us tonight. Usually we would have Si behind the scenes, but he's away home to walk the dog. He will be doing the shares for us tonight, so making sure all you guys are watching tonight. So, anyways, on to tomorrow night.
Just for the record, that's not a euphemism. Yeah.
No.
He actually does have a dog. That's not code.
Aye. Well, just to be clear. But yeah, on to tomorrow night. It'll be certainly a test. St Mirren are a team that are on mixed form right now. They're obviously in high spirit from winning the League Cup only a couple of weeks ago against the other side of the city. So, how are you feeling for tomorrow night, Gordy?
I don't really know, to be honest, because I've been thinking a lot about Danny Rowley since he's come in. And, I'm a stats kind of guy.
Of course.
I would say, so he's averaging 2.3 points a game, right, which is substantially better than Russell Martin's 1 point a game. However, over the course of a season, that's 87.5 points. So just say 88 points. That's still not enough to win the league.
No.
So he's doing all right. And it's just this fear that when we come up against a well-organised, good team, we have struggled. Hibs away, Hibs at home even, Motherwell at home at the weekend, the European games, Hearts away. We're still not clicking. Yep. To be fair to Danny Rowe, he's inherited the team, so he can only do so much. So I give him that. It's just slightly concerning. And big game. If we win these next two games, then genuinely I make us favourites for the league. I really do. But if we don't pick up 6 points, then we're still way behind Hearts. So it's crazy. It's crazy when you think about it. So Danny Rowe has been a big improvement, and I'm always, no matter who's in charge, whether it's Russell Martin or Danny Rowe, I'm always confident when you're at home against St Mirren, right? You should be. However, it's just what you said, Lewis. St Mirren are a very organised team, and the last couple of games that I had, they've played us off the park.
Yes. Well, when I think of St Mirren at home, I also think of Philippe Clemence. I think it was actually his last game we got beat at home.
I was thinking that as I was saying it. That's what's done for Philippe Clemence. St Mirren was like watching Barcelona. The way St Mirren played, like obviously comparatively to Rangers on the day, but it's like I've never witnessed anything like that. I remember being at Iverson on Walter Smith and Hearts came in 1-3-0. But even then, it was 3 counter-attacks into 3 shots and goal the whole game. So, never seen anything like it at Ibrox that day, well, apart from Queen's Park 2 weeks before. But even then, we should have beat Queen's Park and made a penalty in the last kick of the ball to equalise. So,
yeah.
But St Mirren could have won 4 or 5-0 that day.
Yeah, absolutely.
St Mirren plays a game against Old Firm. You've seen it against Celtic in the League Cup final. So, it'll be a difficult game. But that's what the worry is. Yep. Every game's difficult now.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we're coming up against these teams, your St Mirrens, even your Motherwells, who we played not too long ago. Well, I say not too long ago. It was just there at the weekend. But when we come up against these sort of teams, they play a sort of low block. They organise themselves very well, as you stated, and I think they make it hard to break them down, which also gets the fans frustrated.
Not to argue with you, but I don't think Motherwell did play a low block.
Not maybe not so much a team like Motherwell, but a team like St Mirren or a team like even your Dundees earlier on the season, Dundee and Dundee United as well.
I mean these teams, they absolutely do.
Maybe not Motherwell with the form that they're on, but yeah.
I mean, certainly Hearts didn't play a low block. Hibs haven't played a low block.
Oh yeah.
Hibs actually did play a low block at Ives a couple of Mondays ago, so that's fair enough. But I mean, we have said this for the last couple of years. We struggled to break down teams with a low block, but in the last 12 months, we struggled to break down any team, whatever system they're playing. And I said in the show up until the start of December, we'll give the players a chance under the new coach. But I've seen this to my mate today. I think we just have to get to the point where we just have to say that this squad isn't anywhere near good enough.
Yeah. Dylan?
I agree with Gordy. Just read this comment out here from John. I think we'll beat St Mirren. Celtic are a shambles at the back just now. Our problem has been a goal scorer. I agree with that as well. I think when Rangers are playing, you're looking at your attack, and it's the game there. Motherwell, Chermiti looks to be as a false nine player, and he wants the wingers to cut in and score the goals.
Aye, well, as I call him, Yusuf Chernobyl.
Useless Chernobyl.
Aye, possibly.
To be fair, to Chermiti, he actually played alright against Motherwell.
His build-up play is superb, but
we're saying that he's playing alright, but that's in comparison to his performances beforehand. It's still not good enough.
No, I agree. I mean, compared to when he first came in, it's night and day, but it's still average. It's still an average performance. That you're saying, yeah,
absolutely.
And I agree with that. Yeah, and people, obviously the last comment there for John, which is well meant, and I take it on board. But however much that they might be a shambles at the back, our strikers have scored 7 or 8 goals the whole season.
Yeah,
so
I think
we have to get in behind it. It's one of these ones where it could end up being 4 each Parkhead. But it's a difficult one to call. But first and foremost, the game against Celtic is for next week. It's for obviously the weekend coming up. But this game, first and foremost, is it's the most important game because it's closer. And,
I'm agree with that. Yep.
We need to get 3 points. Three points is an absolute must. Home games against St Mirren. If you don't take full points on 2 games, I mean, I think last season actually, we reverse fixtures last season. We played St Mirren and Motherwell between Christmas and New Year, and only picked up 1 point out of the 6.
Yes, you're right.
If I remember correctly.
You're right. I'm pretty sure.
He's still got it. He's getting old, but he's still got the memory. But
you're not that old.
And then this season, obviously the reverse fixtures. So if we could pick up 6 points out of these fixtures, that'd be great. And I think we all said in November we had maybe 7 league games coming up, which were really difficult, starting with Killie away. Now, that includes a Celtic game. If we could get 6 out of 7 wins, that'd be really impressive. And I'd be really happy with that. But we've got to turn up. Like we're still slow. We're still slow in the first half. We're still ponderous. We're still shot shy. So yeah, it's difficult to call because you just don't know. You don't know which Rangers is going to turn up half the time.
Yeah, well, St Mirren have got some quality in their squad, but they've certainly, I think, man to man, you would certainly say the Rangers have the better team, which is actually tighter than what a lot of folk think. Right now, with the current state of our squad, I don't actually think it's as big of a gap as what people think. I actually think it's quite close. I think St Mirren have got a very good squad. They've set up well. Stephen Robinson's done well, recruiting well, and he's also kind of get the same core a squad than what the previous manager did as well. So he's not changed that much, but what he has changed, he's done very well. Of course, he got St Mirren into Europe, a top 6 finish, and
what
wins the cup.
Teams like St Mirren are doing, and they're changing 1 or 2 players a season. That's it.
Yeah,
they're losing. They get a player that plays well. Like I think the midfielder Bacchus has been he's out of contract this season, so they have to replace him. What they're doing is they had I can't remember his name. His name escapes me. They had a striker last season. Played really well. Scored a lot of goals. He moved it towards the end of the he moved to America for $500,000 because he was out of contract.
Jonah Ayunga, was it?
Yeah. And but they replaced him with another striker that they found somewhere who scored just as many goals. So that's what a great manager does, and a great scouting team does.
I just want
with their resources as well. By the way, it's hard to find a replacement for somebody that can score 15 goals a season in the SPL for a team outside the Old Firm, but it's bloody hard to do it 2 or 3 times in a row.
In fact, actually, I'll correct myself. I think Jonah Young is actually still with St Mirren.
Yeah.
I'm getting confused here with Kyle Vassell that played with Kilmarnock.
That's all right.
But I know who you're talking about. I can't remember his name for the life of me. But yeah, I wouldn't say I'm nervous for tomorrow night. I'm confident that we'll win. I'm nervous to watch the game because a lot of Rangers fans now, including myself, are actually struggling to watch it. It's that bad. It seems
it's tough. It's tough going just now.
Mm-hmm.
But why is that? I'm struggling. I'm trying to think because I don't know whether to correct myself and argue myself here. But do we have individually good players? And they're just not clicking as a team yet, or is it that we don't have individually good players so they can't click as a team?
I think some of the players at the club, their ego is far too high, and they think these are the next Lionel Messi and the next Ronaldo.
Go on, name them.
Tello Asgard for a start. I think his ego, he reminds me of Todd Cantwell under Clermont. Maybe he's got an attitude, or his ego is just it's far too high for the club.
Well, I mean, Asgard was someone that we spoke about on Wardy's interview earlier on. Well, Simon Wardy spoke about. I was behind the scenes, but Asgard's someone that we've been speaking about a lot in the Gers TV. Obviously, he's not had a great season. He's got the technical ability, but I just don't know if he's cut out for Scottish football. I just don't think he's got the physicality. And whether you're saying he's got attitude problems or not, Todd Cantwell had attitude problems, but he came up with some very good performances for us in a Rangers shirt. I think it was just a shame he couldn't do that consistently every week, considering. Well, I think you only really seen those sort of performances against your higher caliber opponents because it was a lot more open. You're sort of playing more man to man instead of going up against a low block teams that are going to play a wee bit rougher with you, go a wee bit harder on you. That's what these players, your Todd Cantwells, your Taylor Asgards struggle with. They struggle with a player going in for a challenge on them, I think.
Yeah, there's a lot to that. I think that one of the reasons I think we're struggling is that we seem to be static when we're transitioning from midfield to attack. There's not a lot of coming to deep. Because remember, when teams play a low block, you've got to try and move in between and bring them out or get the ball wide and draw the defenders out. You've got to have either McGoma and Aarons or Tav doing the overlap as well, so the winger can cut inside or find the person outside. And that draws defenders out from the box or out from the central areas. Then you have to have your midfielders coming from the central areas into the edge of the penalty box. That's what creates the space. We're not doing that. We're just simply like shuffle about the place, like from side to side. And that doesn't get you anywhere. It's just slow. It's just static. And it just seems it's been that for about 2 years now, though. It's very, very strange to see. And ever since that, I mean, I didn't actually think Morelos was the greatest player. I certainly didn't think this was the greatest player. But I sure as hell miss him now.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we spoke about him a fair few times as well. Dessers is someone that, as much as we slagged him off, he misses a lot of chances. But in the 2 years that he was at the club, in the last 2 years, he scored 50 odd goals. Yep. That's 25 goals a season. We would cry out for that at the moment. That's the thing.
I was slagging him off at the weekend, and now I'm begging to come back.
I know. Well, I wouldn't say begging for him to come back. Like he was a very good player. He was certainly more clinical than what we've got now. And I actually think there was a point, and Wardy and Si spoke about this earlier on's interview. I think there was a point in this season, not too long ago, that our defenders have scored more goals than our forwards.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I just want to touch on that. I think the St Mirren game, I think they're going to be looking to exploit the set pieces, especially with such an aerial threat. And Alex Gogic, he scores a lot of goals from corners. And I think Rangers will need to be switched on. I think it's the same for us as well. I think we'll try take advantage of corners with Emmanuel Fernandez. He's another big aerial threat. So
yeah. I'm going to go through some comments here. There's a few that have came in here. Andrew saying Rangers will take 1-0 in a game. Yeah, well, I mean, it's the 3 points that matters, but you want to see performances. Yes, we won 1-0 there at the weekend, but if performance wasn't necessarily great. We had some chances, we just couldn't finish them. But I also think we were lucky that we never conceded a goal. I think Butland saved us. And it was, once again, I'm referring back to Si and Wardy's interview earlier on. But Butland's a keeper. Yes, he's got a mistake in him, but yes, he's saved us plenty of times. Not just this season, but last season and the season before.
Yeah, I believe Butland had at least 2 or 3 really good save
Yep.
in the first
Yes.
half against Motherwell.
Yes,
Thought
absolutely.
Butland, if it wasn't Connor Barron, I thought Butland was man of the match for us. The same with the Motherwell goalkeeper. I thought he pulled off some excellent saves as well.
Yeah.
But isn't that, I mean, looking at the stats, I know you don't hear the stats, but Motherwell had more possession than us.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I mean, how is that? Since when do Motherwell come up the Ibrox and dominate possession?
Yeah, I know.
So I mean, like we're that makes me think that we're now playing counter-attackish football at home against Motherwell.
Yeah.
And
No.
that's a real concern for me.
Yeah. Another few comments here from John. Totally agree. We need the next 3 points and build from there. Agree. That's a cracking J-Skit Gordon. Getting a rare compliment. Don't rate Dame.
Sorry, I call it a jacket.
J-Skit, no.
Okay.
Don't rate Diamandi.
I agree with that comment. I don't think Diamondi's.
Don't get started with
I don't think he's
rate him.
physical enough.
Then another comment here. Need 3 new players in January straight away to start. No squad players. Centre back, centre mid, centre full, or striker. Then obviously another comment here. Who do you think we should try and sign in January? I think that's another topic we should maybe start talking about, considering we're approaching January. We're approaching the new year very soon. It'll be Thursday. We enter the 1st of January. Thursday the transfer window opens. And of course, the big derby game is on the 3rd. Of course, we take it game by game. But in terms of players that we should bring in January, I think it's going to be tough to bring in because January is not a window where you're going to be signing your star players, really. January is a window to see what you've got, reflect, and get maybe a bit of squad depth. That's what January is more seen as. But this is a massive January window for us. If we're wanting any chance of going on and winning this league or even winning the Scottish Cup, we need to have an incredible January transfer window. We need to be basically hit the nail on the head with the signings that we bring in. There's a few that I've got in mind that I would like to bring in January. I don't know about you guys, but we'll go on. What do you guys think is the main positions that we need? Starting off with you, Gordy.
Attacking midfielder. Well,
Okay.
we're lacking that. Now, I know we've got Diomande, Rami coming back with injury, and Asgard.
Mm-hmm.
But we're not linking the midfield and the attack aren't linking. And I just think I don't think Diomande's got. I've said with Diomande since the start of the season. I think he came in when he was on loan the first few months when he wasn't a permanent player. He played really well. Then he started all right. Then he got a couple of injuries.
Yeah.
Ever since then, he's been. I don't want to say pish, but sometimes you just need to use the kind of low score denominator really. And that's the word that comes to mind for me. Like Dyer, I can't remember Diomande having. I can remember him having a couple of standout touches, a couple of maybe one goal here and there.
Yeah.
Goal in Europe, but I can't remember Diomande putting a match-winning performance in any game he's played. And I can't. And Asgard won once against Dundee United at home, and that was only for one half. And Rami, don't think he's cut out for it either. So get somebody that can link midfield and attack. I think we've got to get rid of Danilo and Shamiti if possible and get another striker in. But I don't see how it's possible when we're paying these guys 30 grand a week and they've cost 13, 14 million. No one's going to take them. So we can only have so many players in our squad. Yeah, we've only got so much a budget for our wages. So I don't know. It's difficult, guys, because I think we just need every position. Yeah,
I mean, I would agree with that. Although I do think you're being a wee bit harsh on Bajrami, but Bajrami's not really been playing in his natural 10 position. He's been seen out in either the left or the right wing really this season, which is another thing that I'll probably get on to shortly as well. Players being played out of position. So yeah, I do agree with you there that we do need an attacking midfielder, but I do think we need pretty much every position in the park, as you're saying, because not really anyone's cutting it at this rate. There's your players like your Raskins, maybe the only one that's playing well. Well, the only really two that are playing well is Connor Barron, maybe Dujon Sterling. Maybe the only ones that are putting in the 8, 9, 10 maybe not 10 out of 10, but 8 and 9 out of 10 performances week in, week out, giving it all. That's really the only ones. Even Raskin's not been at the races for this season, really. He's not been at it. Dylan, what about you? What do you think the main positions are that we need?
I would say a goal scorer, maybe a left back. I do like Magoma, but I think the same issue with Diomande is Magoma. He's not physical enough. He has recently. He's coming onto a game, but I would try and maybe sign a permanent left back. I'd maybe look at Gers TV. I don't know whether he's playing for. Is it Sassuolo?
Sassuolo.
Yeah,
Right?
I don't know if he's starting over there, or if he's on the bench. If he's on the bench, you can maybe get him on the cheap for maybe 2.5 mil. It's another Scottish number as well. I know we said no squad pillars, but if we're selling Joe Roffel, I would like us to really go in for David Watson from Kilmarnock as a good replacement.
Okay.
I've seen Lau Cameron might be going out on loan, and Finlay Curtis might be going out on loan. Yep. So I would start with a goal scorer, centre back, and a left back.
Yeah. Just to finish that off, I think the main positions we need are a centre back, a left back, and a goal scorer. I think in the midfield, I think we're okay. I think we'll see Raskin come back and start playing a wee bit better. So I don't really have much doubt about that. Connor Barron's been playing well, and I think maybe if we were to bring in another midfielder, we'd probably say a holding midfielder. And you were saying there about David Watson. Yes, that's one. But another one that was mentioned in the comments there from Smudge was the boy Dahl from Tromsø. I believe he's a holding midfielder. The young boy that we've been linked with. Norwegian, I was right the other night. I couldn't remember for the life of me his name. Another wee comment there. Claudio Braga would be class for us.
I agree.
Winger, I mean, yeah.
I agree. Braga, and sorry if I pronounce this wrong.
Kizaridis,
him as well. But his Hearts are in a good position. If we do go in for them, they're going to expect at least 5-6 million plus pounds minimum.
I think you're talking upwards of 8 or 9 million pounds
minimum, especially halfway through a season as well. That they're going to fancy their chances to go on and win it.
Of course, yeah. Another wee question I want to ask before I actually ask, who do you think we should sign? What market do you think we should be going into? I think we'll all have pretty much a similar answer to this. What market do you think we should be going into? Do you think we should maybe be sticking to going down south, or start looking into the Scottish market, or going a wee bit more rogue, going into the Scandinavian market or the Asian market like we've seen Celtic do previously?
Probably the English market is it's super inflated. Like, even clubs in Division 2, in League 2, like that's attached to the third division, are on 15-20 grand a week now. The TV money. And it's like, teams like Wrexham, for example, are paying maybe the same amount as us in wages every week. Even like average teams like Huddersfield, you maybe one players are 15-20 grand a week. So it's really, really difficult to get value for money in the English market. In fact, I would say it's virtually impossible to get value for money in the English market. I would say that the Scandinavian market is a potential gold mine for us. I believe that most of the Scandinavian countries, their season's coming to an end as well.
I think they're already. I think they're actually already finished.
Either that, the vended okay. So you probably look at the top goal scorers in the Swedish Norwegian league. You walk back to there and go, right, who do we bring in? That'd be a good market for us, and then maybe Canadian, North American,
okay,
and then the Asian. But you've got to remember that the work permit those are all different now as well. So it's difficult bringing players from Europe, like EU countries, more difficult than it was without the politics. And you've got to remember that. There's also, South Africa as well. I just think we need to try something different. I think we're crying out for just different ideas. I think we need to get a couple of good Scottish players, like you mentioned, David Watson. Dylan. Without saying anything, I haven't seen that for the last 12 months. David Watson for Kilmarnock.
He has out of contract now as well in the summer, so
and a couple of other Scottish players as well. I know Simon sings Alex Goggich's praises.
Yep.
I'm not. I mean, if you'd asked me 6 months ago, I laughed that out of the park. Now I'm in favour of it. We need a couple of 2 or 3 Scottish players that know the SPL, that know how to dig in. Like, I watched at the end of the Hibs Hearts game on Saturday, the last 10-15 minutes, and the passion and the fight on by both teams was something I've not seen in years at Ibrox.
Yeah.
So it wasn't pretty. The last 10 minutes wasn't especially pretty, but by God was it passionate. And I think you need a couple of players that can come in, big personalities, leaders in the park or in the dressing room at least. And because I think we've got a lot of prima donnas at the club at this moment in time, who think, as you said earlier, Lewis, their egos are bigger than their talents. So a couple of good, honest professionals, and then maybe a couple of talented players for Scandinavia.
Yeah, Dylan, what do you think? What market do you think we should be exploring? Do you think we should be going to the Scandinavian market? Or
there's a wee
Scotland?
There's a wee comment there that says couple German boys. I agree with that. I think we should be looking at Danny Rowe worked with Hansi Flick as well. I think it was Bayern Munich. He worked it, so maybe he's got maybe some talent over there in Germany. Obviously Danny Rowe being German, maybe he knows some players, maybe some youngsters. I'd also like it to explore the Dutch leagues, the Dutch market. I think some cracking wonder kids over there. But the issue I would love is to explore the Scottish market. But I think the issue with the Scottish market is Gordy said, the English market, the inflation. I think with how tight this league is, it depends what club you're going to be looking at for the Scottish players in the Scottish market. And in January, so the player prices could be through the roof in the Scottish market, especially selling them to either us, Hearts, or obviously the other side of Glasgow.
Remember, it's a World Cup next year as well, so you're going to have a lot of players that are maybe not getting a game for their clubs at the moment that want to push for a World Cup place. I'm not talking about teams like Brazil or Germany or Holland or anything like that. I'm talking about maybe, maybe teams like, trying to think of an example. I mean, even Scotland, look at something like Kenny McLean, could come in for 6 months. I'm not saying, I think right now we've got a short-term problem at the club where we don't have big leaders, we don't have big personalities. I think we've got a collection of misfits at the moment, personality-wise. Like, if you look, and that's probably one of the reasons why they don't click. You've got guys like, you've got somebody like Diomande playing with Dean Danilo and Kieran Dull, and doesn't make any sense. And Asgard, 4 different types of personality, and it's just not clicking. So we need people that can lead. I think in the short term, and then we look at the quality for there. We've tried to get these technical players for England. That hasn't worked so far this season. So I just think we need some fight and desire for the next few months, get us through the season.
Aye, we have a wee comment here from Raja's gowned and pound boy in the middle of sweating. I'm freezing, pardon me. I'm absolutely freezing. I don't know why you're seeing sweat.
Nerves.
Aye, so it is. Aye, nerves. Aye, so it is. But anyways, back to what we were saying. A wee comment here. Serbian leagues are similar to the SPFL. Yeah, well,
European leagues, yeah.
Yep.
Serbia, Bosnia.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, people will laugh, right? But look at a small country like Kosovo, who have done exceptionally well in the qualifiers in the last couple of years.
Yeah.
Beating Italy and all that kind of stuff. But I think we've got this kind of posture about it where we won't go for these kind of players. But a couple of players for teams like Kosovo, countries like Kosovo, that are played in Serie A and Spanish League, etc. They're bloody good. So Eastern European countries, Serbia, great technical ability. Bosnia, Herzegovina, Czech Republic. There's markets all over the place, but we haven't really had a proper scouting system in place for years as well, which is worrying. But I'm hopeful that we try something different, because what we've tried for the last couple of years just hasn't worked.
Yeah, we all have nails watching the Rangers at the moment. Yeah, well, I mean, I think we all do. That's how something that we touched on earlier on. But I'm gonna give Matt.
You see, Kieran Dull's back in the squad for Scotland.
Aye, and Sharmita's starting. Yusuf Chernobyl. No, well, I think the main market we should be exploring is the Scottish market. For me, I think there's a lot of talent here, and I think there's a lot of ignorance towards young Scottish talent. I think we're seeing them playing for your clubs like your Kilmarnocks, your Dundees, even Motherwell to an extent, maybe even Hibs and Hearts. Maybe not Hearts, but Hibs. You're looking at young talent from these clubs, and we're sort of turning our nose up. We're like, we're Rangers. They're not good enough, but they are good enough. They're young. They're top quality young players in this country. You've got David Watson. You've got Josh Mulligan as well with Hibs. That's supposedly linked with a move away as well. You've got Lewis Mayo, as much as he's not necessarily young. Someone that I don't know why we let go.
Yeah, I was just going to touch on that. Lewis Mayo, I think every time we do play Kilmarnock, I think Lewis Mayo is always a standout centre-back for them.
The problem with that, Dylan, is that you'll maybe have these players that have a standout game against the Old Firm. And we only see them once, maybe we see them 4 times a season, because obviously Lewis Mayo, I believe, played for Rangers. He's obviously motivated. So we see him play really well twice a year. Are they consistent? Because if these players were really consistent, why are Kilmarnock second bottom of the league?
That is true.
I'm saying? So I'm not trying to be.
That is true. I think
it's just that. But the other side of the coin is, the boy from Motherwell, I think he scored 10 goals this season, which is actually
is it Manawisa?
1.5 times.
To Wanda Maswanisi.
which is 1.5 times our total strike force's goals.
Mhm.
You know, so but again, these teams ain't going to sell. Hearts and Motherwell ain't going to sell us any players
No.
mid-season unless we pay double. We'd have to pay double, and I don't think we're in any position to do that. So what we're going to have to look for is a couple of young German people, as you said, young German boys coming over, maybe on loan. I think we're going to have a couple of loans, and then maybe look for players out of contract like David Watson, drag him in for $500,000.
Yep.
Aye.
I agree with that because you're going to need to pay the compensation fee anyway in the summer. Obviously, he's a Scottish talent going to another Scottish club. I think the compensation will be about 250 grand or something anyway. So I would absolutely put a bid in 500 grand and try and get him the now.
Yeah. Well, I mean, there's a few. I don't think the Scandinavian market certainly want to turn their nose away from. I think Danny Rowe did in a press conference that we won't be turning our nose up at the Scottish market, which is what I like to hear, what I like to see. But we've heard a lot of other managers say this. So, is he going to walk the walk, or is he just talking the talk? Realistically,
It just depends. I mean, it's any market if the right players are being at the right price. But
yeah, exactly.
As you said, Lewis, like we've always said, the January's that awkward time to buy players because we're talking about getting a goal scorer in. But what club is wanting to sell their top goal scorers halfway through that season unless we pay double for what they're wanting? So we're going to have, if we want a striker, for example, we're going to have to pay over the odds for an informed striker or take a gamble again on somebody that's out of favour, not playing, and not scoring.
I don't think there's any really much point in us taking a gamble on anyone. We've already taken a gamble on Sharmiti and to an extent Miovski. Of course, we know we know how good he was with Aberdeen, but he went to Girona and he never hit the ground running there. He got a fair bit of game time and he didn't really score many goals. A Girona team who, when he went into the team, they'd finished I think third or fourth in La Liga, which is an unreal achievement. Then the season that he went in, they
article on Girona a month ago. I won't bore you with it, but it was fantastic.
That's
What the manager does over there.
okay.
Honestly, see the managers over there's tactics and style. It's unbelievable what he does.
Give me a wee send. I'll get a wee bedtime read later on. A wee bedtime read.
I'm going to throw this one right out here, and I know he's not played in over a year, but Divock Origi is a free agent. It is a big gamble.
Who,
but
sorry?
Divock Origi.
Divock Origi.
Out
of contract.
Could be Divock.
It could be big wages, but it's a gamble. It is a gamble.
Yeah.
Who's he played for? Sorry, that name.
He scored the Champions League final for Liverpool.
Just left East.
Origi.
Aye. Just left AC Milan. He's a free agent. There's a comment there. Ryan Kent on a free.
Right. I don't. Not for me. Ryan Kent was one who, in his last few years at Rangers, well, maybe not last few years, but his last one or maybe year and a half, you could just tell that he couldn't really be bothered. I think in the last 3 or 4 months when he was on contract at Rangers, he wasn't really playing. I think whether he was injured or just wasn't good enough to be in the squad.
He's probably told he's on his way out.
Yeah. I mean, don't get me wrong, but I think you go out for Rangers, you should never be shown that you can't be bothered. I think you should always be going in there full of energy, trying your best. But I mean, for me, Ryan Kent's a mixed one. Ryan Kent had his moments at Rangers. He was certainly a good player on his day, but I think right now I don't think he's any better than what we've got. I think if anything, it's a downgrade. Another wee comment here from Tommy: should never have let Cholak go. Yeah, that's one that I've mentioned a couple of times before in the channel and off camera as well to friends, family, and peers. So Cholak was, I think, pretty much your classic number 9. To be honest, he was always there in the box. He was a great finisher. He had an eye for goal. But when Michael Beale came in mid-season that year, he sort of just seemed to face him out. He was more aligned to picking Alfredo Morelos over Cholak, and I think there was 1 or 2 times where he tried playing the two up front, and it just never seemed to work. It never seemed to click.
I thought Cholak was one of the best finishers we've had at the club in recent times. Taking away the fact we've had Jermaine Defoe, who's obviously been the best finisher, but I think Cholak is up there. I thought some of the goals he scored, easy goals. He scored some nice goals on the turn. The one at Tynecastle stands out to me as well. So,
yeah, I mean, for me, Cholak, he scored some crucial goals. He scored a couple of crucial goals in Champions League qualifiers.
Yep.
Again, both PSV home and away. Scored against PSV. In fact, no, I think Was the PSV one? Was it Tillman? I think it was actually Colak that scored. Tillman played that across him, if I remember right. Colak scored some crucial goals for Rangers. And yes, I know what you're saying. I know what some folk are saying. It happens, but that's a striker's instinct. You're there, not going to be in the right positions to score goals. To be honest, I don't think if we were to bring in maybe Colak right now, he'd have similar issues to what Miovski's having right now, and that's what I've been saying with Shankland as well. Shankland would be having the same issues that Miovski's having because they're quite similar players, to be honest. Shankland and Miovski, I think they're quite similar players. I don't know about you guys, but I mean, for me, should never let Colak go. I agree. I don't think we should let him go for it's cheap, is what we did. Another one here talking about Colak and Sakala. Bad mistakes letting them go. Well, Sakala, as we said previously in the channel once or twice, is now the Zambia captain, Zambian national team captain. So there's certainly leadership there if he's leading his country out in national continental tournaments. I mean, he's clearly some sort of a leader.
Just bringing it back to realistically, we've got a really athletic squad right now. I mean, realistically, we're over the place in midfield. We've got Diomande, Raskin, Barron, Cameron, Diomande, Asgard, Rami, who all play in Rothwell, who all play in a central position. Whether it's just behind the attack or just behind the defence, that's what 7-8 players I've rounded off there. And you know, they're all playing central. They all play in central positions. We've got Shamiti, Danilo, and Miovski, who all play centre attack, and we only want to really play one up front most games, which is 3 for one position. We've got players on, and we've got Mikey Moore and Antman and Gassam, and Mikey Moore actually is more centrally suited as well. So that
I agree with that.
So that takes it up as well. We've got Antman coming back for injury, and Cutlass and Gassam on the wings. So I think we probably need to get another winger in there. But then at the same time, you know, I think we need to get a left back and right back in because these guys are not going to be here for the long term. They're going and errands. But do we accept the fact that we've got cover till the end of the season? I mean, I'm actually going to be really surprised if we buy a lot of players in January.
I agree with that. I don't see us signing many players. I seen a wee comment earlier on. I'll just bring it up. I seen that someone was saying we might bring in
5 or 6 players.
Maybe even 7. I don't see that happening at all. I think it's very, very rare you see that.
I think if we do that, I think if we do bring in 5 or 6 players, I think 2, at least of them, will be starters, and maybe the other 3 will be squad players. Maybe like your players like David Watson if you do get them. But I think 2 main starters out of the 5 probably.
But a wee question that I want to ask is do you think we need to get rid of before we buy? Do you think we need to get rid of the deadwood before we bring in
certain
players?
Yeah, that's what I was just looking at the moment. Like we've got, I mean, I would keep.
That's a wee comment here. Actually, just I was talking about
probably, you know, we've got guys. I mean, I think that says Matondo, Cifuentes, Cortez, Dave. I mean, these are I forgot about these players. These are players that are on. These are players that we are responsible for. We just like.
I think Cifuentes has played 8 games.
Maybe not, you know, massively at the moment because maybe the loans deal with some of the wages, but we are. You know, these guys come back to loan, and that's another 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Players that I think Dow's at a contract. I think Matondo's at a contract. So that'd be 2 gone. Cortez, I don't think he's cut the mustard. Can't remember if he's went on loan to the
I think he's
Sporting Gijón.
And Cifuentes is playing okay, to be fair. But again, that's 5. You add on to that list. I would add on Rothwell to that list, which is 6. Then we get. At this moment in time, I would take my chances and sell Diamandi if I could. Be perfect.
I think even if you're saying Matondo, Cifuentes, Cortez, Davies, Dow, Rothwell, as you're saying Diamandi, maybe even Danilo as well. I think that's what 8 players. I think if you look at that, I think we'd be lucky to get much money back in them. I think if you're looking at the 8 players, I think we're lucky to get 5 million for all 8 of them.
You need to cut the losses of some of these players.
I know. I think unfortunately that's just what you have to do because it's going to get to a point where they're just going free. They're going for nothing. So if we've got the chance to get a wee bit of money for them, we accept that we've lost money. especially in Danilo. There's no chance we are getting that 5.5, 6 million back on Danilo unless he comes out. Unless he comes out this second half of the season and scores 15 goals, but
we're not getting. I
think we struggle to get $1 million for him.
I don't like who realistically who's going to win? Who's going to win something like Danilo? Nobody. They're going to look at his wages and goal. They're going to look at his track record. Look at his personality. Look at his stats, which I'm sorry, that's what people do now in football. Well, we like it or not, or people like it or not. Stats are a big thing. We're going to look at his goals. He's going to look at his contributed goals. He's going to look at his wages and go, absolutely no chance. Absolutely no chance. The best thing we can hope for is to get Danilo out on loan somewhere and he scores goals at a lesser level and we get 1 or 2 million back from him in the summer. That I would say that's probably the best first we can hope for first meeting as well.
Yeah.
And possibly Asgard.
Possibly. I don't know if it's maybe a bit soon to tell with Asgard. I'm not really liking the look of him so far, but you know, I mean, I think there is still a bit of time for him to turn that around. There's a lot of these players on that list there, just up the screen, Matondo, Cifuentes, Cortez, Davies and Dill. There's 2 or 3 players in there that I'm really gutted for, have not had the ground running at Rangers. You've got Matondo, Cifuentes and Davies. They're the ones that I'm quite gutted have not maybe sort of been as good as what we thought they were going to be. I think Matondo...
I don't understand why Ben Davies was just shooed out the door and just he's come a bit of a kind of...
It was a shame. I think it was all down to that one mistake at Parkhead as well. And I actually thought he's quite a...
I thought he was all right.
A robust, solid centre-half, maybe not good enough to start, but he seemed almost reliable. It was a real shame. He just got thrown under the bus after that mistake at Parkhead. You can maybe even argue Ciala was the same after they 2 mistakes at Kilmarnock, as we previously spoken about, so I'm not boring you any further with that. But
the one I feel most for is Rabbi Matondo. He is in the squad. He is still a Rangers player to this day. He's just back from a knee injury. He's been in training, and I don't know if he's maybe out of favour, especially lacking the left wing with Bajrami being injured and only really having Mikey Moore in that position. I don't know. Yeah, he likes to take on a man. We've seen it. What 2023? Yep. 2023.
You know, he's got talent. He went, was it Schalke he played for?
Schalke? Yep. Yeah, right.
You don't. It's like NCL. That's what we said about NCL up Milan. Like you don't play for these clubs, or you don't get a chance at these clubs if you're not highly regarded. So yeah, something's happened, maybe mentally or physically, where he's lost his form. But I mean, there's talent somewhere in there, just hasn't found it. And maybe Rangers aren't the right club for some of these players. Like, you know, there's players that you put on the Rangers top and it's too heavy for them, but there's other players that really grow into it.
Yeah.
Something like Morelos, he came for 800,000, he grew into the Rangers shirt.
Yeah.
Something like Ryan Kent came and over the seasons it became too heavy for him.
Yep.
So you've got to look at that aspect of it. You know, you probably look at somebody like, you know, Danilo, that's probably happened. Danilo played for decent clubs, you know, had a decent goal scorer record on paper, you know, but just something isn't clicking. So sometimes you need to cut the losses. And I'm afraid, I'm sorry to say, but I think that's where we are with some of these players. I think that's where we are with a lot of these players, actually.
Yep. A wee comment here, as much as it says it's from the Gers TV, but Sai, who's watching us from, I believe, I believe it'll be back home now. If we can win the next 2 games and get a few good players, we'll right back in it. I absolutely agree with that. I think by Sunday, or by 2:30, 3 o'clock on Saturday, we could be joint with Celtic. We could be joint in points. Celtic have got a tough game tomorrow away to Motherwell.
Yep. That's a tough game.
And be just behind that.
Motherwell play like they put against us on Saturday. They'll take points.
I do agree with that.
I think Motherwell were 10 unbeaten before we played them. So
I think you'd also went 5 without conceding.
Yep. So it's a tough game. We've also got a tough game. We need to watch ourselves. I'd rather us get the 3 points and then look out for the Motherwell score. But
well, I mean, let's face it, both Old Firm teams have got a very tough game tomorrow night. Obviously, probably Celtic having a tougher game than us.
That's football, as Simon says. You know, if you said, Lewis, as well, 5 days' time, we could be right back in the title hunt. I mean, I submit to you now that if we win both games, I think we're favourite for the league.
Yeah.
the caveat to that is if we get a couple of players in January, but I genuinely believe from the bottom of my heart that if we win the next 2 games, then we are probably favourites in the league. Given the fact that the next game against Celtic will be at Ibrox.
Yeah.
And the next game against Hearts will be at Ibrox.
Well, Cifuentes going to Toronto permanently on the cheap. Well, whether it's on the cheap or whatever, as long as we get a wee few bob for it back for him, I wouldn't mind that.
Toronto is a wonderful city. If any watching Toronto, please invite us over. We'll do a gig. We'll do a gig in Toronto.
Aye. Then another comment here from Sai at home. Celtic are now 82 games without a sending off. Incredible. Yeah, well, I don't necessarily think that's a topic for tonight. I think if the time's right, I think after Saturday, possibly, a wee discussion on that.
Yeah, biggest one I can think of the top of my head, sorry to interrupt, is Alistair Johnson, who should have been sent off at least 3 times against us in the last 2 seasons.
Yep, I will agree. I do agree with that.
I thought Carter Vickers in the semi-final should have been sent off for the kick on Butland as well.
And Scales for the handball.
Yeah.
Then Austin Trusty as well.
Aye, sorry, Trusty.
Austin Trusty. Yeah. Did we think we'd be in a title race back in September? Now, before you jump in here, we're not in a title fight right now. We're not in a title fight. Not yet, anyways. We could be back in a title fight. If the results go our way tomorrow night and on Saturday, we will be back in a title fight. But as of now, we are not in a title fight.
I'd like to disagree with you there. I think I stated last night we still need to play Hearts another 2 times and the other side of Glasgow another 2 times. So I'd like to disagree, but yeah. Under Russell Martin, in the position we were in when Danny Rowe came in, I would no, absolutely not. But I think Danny Rowe's done a fantastic job, and as Marvin Andrews said, keep believing.
I'm sorry, I kind of agree with you. I kind of disagree. I kind of agree with both of you.
Don't sit in the fence.
No, I kind of disagree with both of you, but kind of agree with both of you at the same time as well.
Okay.
I think that we're almost. I think right now we're kind of in a title race. I think that we're outsiders of the 3 right now, but I think we are in the mix.
Yeah,
but as I said, the next 2 games, I think if we win the next 2 games, we are joint favourites or favourites. Dylan, just come back. I don't think Danny Rowe's done a fantastic job. I think he's done a good job. I mean, he's lost here at 3 in Europe, and he's had a couple of bad draws and a poor performance at Tynecastle. So I don't think he's done a fantastic job. I think he's done a good job. He's certainly restored their pride, and he's certainly fixed some problems, especially in the defence. And I give him a massive benefit of the doubt, given the fact that he's not able to sign any players. So he's done a good job. I don't think he's done a fantastic job. However, if he wins the next 2 games, then I'd agree with you, given the fact in terms of the pure squad. But yeah, I think that after starting from the next 5 days, every game is crucial, because the way this league's going, you can win a game, think yourself out of it, then win 2, you're back in it again.
Yep.
So it's a crazy league this season. And
absolutely.
The points tallies are really low for Celtic and Rangers, which is incredible. And given the fact we're now halfway through the league, we will be after tomorrow. But yeah, 4 days, 5 days time, 6 points. I think my favourites for the league. I really do.
I think it's hard to say what would be favourites for the league. I think it depends on how Hearts' results go as well. I think Hearts will be a team that I'm looking out for. Maybe not through the week. I don't think they've actually got a game.
No, I think that's it.
Midweek, I think. But at the weekend, possibly Hearts might be one to look out for as well, because they're not out of a title race. Folk are saying they'll bottle it, but I'm not so sure. With Hearts getting 2 wins against Rangers and 2 wins against Celtic this season, I'm not too sure.
I think if Hearts recruit well in January, like they did in the summer, I think they'll fancy their chances.
I think if we win tomorrow night and we win on Saturday and Celtic lose both games, or even drop points tomorrow and of course lose to us on Saturday, I think we'll be ahead of them in the bookies odds for winning the league. I think it'll be Hearts then us then Celtic.
Yep.
In favour to win the league. But
I can't see Hearts spending a lot of money.
I don't see them spending a lot of money, but they didn't spend a lot of money. They spent £1 million in the summer in the top of the league.
They have got a new owner though, Tony Bloom. I think he is also the Brighton owner.
Yeah, and Union Saint-Gilloise as well, the Belgian team who we faced as well previously.
You look at what Brighton do as well, some of the players they acquire, so you never know really.
They're not spending a lot of money, but they're making a lot of money. So maybe Hearts might be looking into that. Maybe Hearts will look to sell. Maybe not look to sell, but if the price is right for your players like your Kizaridis, your Bragas, maybe not Shankland, but your Kizaridis and your Bragas, even a lot of young boys as well. Your Oshin McEntee as well, who's played quite well for Hearts in the midfield.
I'd just like to mention that Kizaridis, they got them for absolutely nothing. I think he could easily go for about £10 million in the summer as well.
Possibly. Depends if he can keep up his form for the rest of the season. But just to finalise on tomorrow night, before we talk about the Old Firm on Saturday, what do you guys think the score will be tomorrow night, Gordy?
5-0 Rangers.
Optimistic.
For
once, optimistic.
Do you mind to score twice? Do you know to score a hat-trick and shut me up? Go for it.
Dylan?
I think St Mirren drew 0-0 at the weekend. I think it's going to be another scrappy game. I'm going to say 2-0 Rangers. I think we will score a set piece and a goal will come from Chimiti from open play.
I think we will concede. I think we'll concede as much as, it's a wee stat that we were talking about. Well, me and Dylan were talking about off camera, which is baffling. In the league, Rangers have the best defensive record in the league. Rangers have conceded the least goals. We've conceded 15, Celtic have conceded 16, and Hearts have conceded 17. I believe Celtic and Hearts are the other way around, but Rangers have only conceded 15 goals in the league. We've conceded a lot of silly goals, but see if we cut them out, our defence looks like a prime AC Milan, a prime Italian early 2000s defence with the stats. So, I mean, it's baffling that we've got the best defensive record in the league, considering
the goals we lose.
Considering the goals we're losing, considering we're talking about that being our main position that we need to improve on.
I mean, Diane Romany's come in the league set. The league can't be played, what?
7 games without a clean sheet, I think.
6 or 7 clean sheets in the league. So, he's done really well there. And he's had injuries and, players leaving for AFCON to contend with as well. So, he's done. And it's a makeshift defence, to be perfectly honest with you. Given the fact we've got players on loan that haven't really cut it either. So, he's done well there. And I say credit to him. But I just think that I just hope these players start proving on.
Yeah, you comment here 3-1 Rangers tomorrow. Do you agree that we will concede? I think we will concede. And to be honest, I hate to say it, I think we'll concede first.
I think if we are going to concede, as I said earlier in the show, I think it will come from a set piece.
Yes, we seem to. There's a point I made in the group chat after our disallowed goal versus Hearts when it actually stood at the time that it stood. We seem to score easily from set pieces, but we also concede easily from set pieces as well, which is something that we need to majorly improve on. Yes, we had the set piece coach coming from, I believe, Lincoln City. I think it was something like 61 set pieces in, I think, 30 or 40 odd goals or something.
It's good numbers.
Set pieces. So it's great stats when you look at it. I think football is more analytic now, so the stats is one of the main things that you look at, and the stats are looking promising with the set piece coach. So can't beat stats, as you say. You like your stats, Gordy. The stream's going on a wee bit longer, but I don't mind that. We're going on a wee bit. We're enjoying ourselves. We're chilling. We're chatting. We're enjoying ourselves with the audience. But I think 2-1 Rangers tomorrow. I think we'll see, if Miovski plays, I think we'll see Miovski score, and possibly even a goal from one of your midfielders, whether it's your Nico Raskins or even Connor Barnett to get his first Rangers goal. I'm not so sure.
I think he's keeping Miovski in reserve for Celtic.
But that's something that I disagree with. I think your manager's saying we take it one game at a time. Yes, the Celtic game is going to be the much tougher game. It's going to be the harder game. As a professional footballer, there's 5 days in between, 4 or 5 days in between that. At least a day's a rest.
Yeah, it's just come back into though, and I think we'd like.
But he started against Hearts, probably the hardest game of the season as well.
I know, and I see your point about one game at a time. I really do, and if all the players are fully fit, I would totally agree with you. It's just who would you rather? Don't start a game. What would you rather? But genuinely, what would you rather? Who played up front? Trinity, who starts against Celtic?
Well, yeah, it's a no-brainer.
And that's probably what Daniel was thinking about. Because he's probably thinking to himself, we should have, in inverted commas, we should have enough to come up to beat St Mirren at home at Ibrox. Mm-hmm. So, but it's a gamble. I mean, you're right what you're saying. Yes, on the surface of it, I agree with it. What you're saying, but I just don't think. I think coming back to the Hearts game was possibly too soon for him.
Yeah, possibly. I mean, they never never really did much in the Hearts game. Then Shamiti came on and he scored a rare goal.
Good goal, actually.
I've
A
got
good
it.
goal, actually. Did take it well.
Just gave it to
I give
David
credit
Bennett,
for
but
that.
down on it.
I say it was a bit of a consolation.
Scored a good goal against Hearts, and then he puts a performance in like that against Motherwell and misses an absolute sitter in the first half.
Yeah.
So
But anyways, I think we've covered the St Mirren game quite well. On to the Old Firm. I don't know if you guys will do maybe a wee show in the build up to the Old Firm game, maybe on Thursday or Friday night. But we'll chat a wee bit about it now, because I've got a few things I want to talk about. The biggest mistake that we make against your teams like your Celtics, your Hearts, maybe even your Hibs, potentially Aberdeen, but I'm going to count them out of this just due to their performances this season. But your Celtics, your Hearts, and even your Hibs, we sit back against these teams. We look at them. We think I'm not going to swear. We crap ourselves. We struggle with the pressure coming up against these teams. We think, oh no, they're better than us. Let's just sit back and hit them in the counter attack. But against these teams, you should be going man to man. I think you can't let these teams whose strongest asset is their attack. Celtic's defence is absolutely woeful. We can admit that. I think both Rangers and Celtic fans can agree in that. Celtic's defence is absolutely shambolic. A wee voice right there. Celtic's defence is absolutely shambolic.
I agree.
So I wouldn't say Hearts' defence is shambolic, but both Celtic and Hearts' main output, strongest area is their attack. Sorry, I'm mumbling my words. Their strongest area is their attack. And if we let them play their football and let them come at us, they will score goals and we will struggle to score as well. So that's, I think, how we lost on Sunday. That's how I think we got beat in the semi-final as well. So I think it's one that we're going to need to change a lot, I think, for Sunday. Yeah.
It's hard to tell. I think with these sort of games, we should be coming out guns blazing and pressing high up the pitch
of course.
From minute one. As Lewis has stated in a comment stated earlier, Celtic's defence, they do crap themselves when they've got the ball at their feet. We've seen it numerous times, how easy they give the ball away. We're the exact same though. I think our defence do crap themselves under a tiny bit of pressure. So
not just defence, I think the whole team.
So
struggles with the pressure against these teams. They are just all sitting back. I think against your Celtics, your Hearts, and as I said previously as well, not just on tonight's show, but on previous shows as well, we should be going man to man against these sort of teams. Yes, Celtic might have a few players that are better than us, but we've got a few players better than them as well. I think Rangers and Celtic are very even right now. I think this is the most even that both teams have been in a while, and maybe not in a good way, because both teams have been very poor this season.
What I would say is I agree with your comment about sitting off in some of the games. Like, I do agree with that, and we actually sat off Motherwell for a large part of the first half.
That's one I was going to mention as well. So.
On these bigger games, I mean, we have actually played reasonably well against Celtic over the last couple of seasons, if you take the game as a whole. But as you said, more often than not, it's after we go 1-0 down, we seem to come back in it against Celtic. So it's almost like we're expecting to lose a goal, and then we get that out of the way, and then we start playing. But the other side of the coin is the other half of the games playing. We start off pretty well and we dominate, and then something happens where our heads go down. So either we lose or we get a yellow card, or a goal's disallowed, and then we stop playing. And then it takes us 10 to 15 minutes to sort ourselves out mentality-wise. That's what happened against Hearts on Sunday. That goal was chopped off unfairly, as we've all discussed in the past. However, for the next 10 to 15 minutes, Hearts dominated and got a goal. It was the same, if we don't get a decision, our heads go down, and it takes us till half time to recover. And by that time, the game can be gone. That's what happened in the League Cup semi-final not so long ago. I think we started off playing pretty well, and then we lost a goal, and the heads went down. We were sort of Deolandi gets sent off, the heads went down again, and then the centre half we come out fighting. But we're giving ourselves, we're allowing ourselves that 10 to 15 minutes in a game after something doesn't go away. Our mentality just drops, and the players are all at 6s and 7s with each other. Then they have to go in at half time, regroup, then go back out and start playing again. That's why we need leaders in the parks to sort it out and say, listen, so what? We got a bad decision. That's what happens in football. Get on with it. And that's what we're missing in these big games sometimes. And I'm really, really hoping we sort that out. And that's why I'm saying part of my argument in January is just get a couple of leaders in.
Yeah. Leadership is a massive issue in the squad. I think we've all previously addressed. It's something that Derek Johnson actually addressed at half time against Motherwell as well. I mean, Dylan, you were at the game. God, I don't know if you were at the game. I wasn't. I was working, as I said last night. But Derek Johnson made an interesting point as well that there is a lack of leadership in the dressing room, not just in the starting lineup, but your backroom staff, your players that aren't playing. No one really seems to be motivating the squad. There's no one that your less leader-like players like to in fear. To be honest,
it's really, really apparent. You're absolutely right, mate. And it's really apparent these big games when something goes wrong.
They're all.
And then that's us for 15 20 minutes.
I think
you see it all the time.
When something goes wrong in these sort of games, your players are they're all looking about, they're looking at each other, trying to take the blame off themselves. So something that we miss is players taking accountability for their actions and players taking accountability for the mistakes that they make in such crucial games. Because I do think that's because the pressure is getting to them, as I've said before. So we need players who can play under pressure. I think at Rangers, you're under pressure 24/7. It's a point that we constantly make on the Gers TV, and it's a comment that Max Aaron's made saying that he plays better under pressure when he's not under pressure.
Rangers player to come out and say that just sums up like what's wrong.
That for me is what finished Max Aaron's for me at Rangers. That and the Bruges away game.
Yeah, I mean it's crazy that I expecting to win every game to say that, and that's the problem. These guys we brought in aren't expecting to win every game. But sorry guys, I'm not that. Obviously, I love the Old Firm games, but I really think St Mirren. I think I know it's a cliche, but one game at a time. Like if we don't get 3 points on Saturday, then it's not irrelevant what we do it. It's on Saturday, Tuesday, tomorrow, Christmas. You lose the track of what day it is, don't you?
I think if you had to pick one that you'd rather win, you would of course pick the Old Firm. But I do agree we should absolutely be taking it one game at a time.
I think that Old Firm games take care of themselves.
Yeah. Form goes out the window in games like
I'm
this.
actually more confident with the Old Firm game than I am in the game tomorrow night because Rangers in the last couple of seasons we have played. I don't have any fear going to be Barry Ferguson a couple of good results over Celtic. Clement did as well. I mean, Clement was robbed over a couple of cup finals as well. And for large parts of the second half, with 10 men in the semi-final of the cup, we outplayed them. The game at Russell Martin was just that phenomenal. It was just both I've never seen a game like that in my life. I can't remember a shot goal for either pub, which was incredible. So I think the overall games will take care of itself.
Yeah.
And a lot of the time falls out the window, a lot of the time it's who wants it on the day. But I just think we have to get tomorrow night over and done with, and we can't set our sights too much on the Old Firm game at the weekend because we can't lose sight of what's important. And right now, 3 points tomorrow night is crucial.
Yeah. I'm going to assume we are doing a show on Friday anyway, or the Saturday. I think Sai might be doing a show. Yeah.
Me and Sai will both be at the moment silence on Friday, the 2nd of January. Me and Sai will both be in attendance at 11 o'clock in the morning. Sai will be there later on. The Gers TV, Sai will actually be helping with leading the congregation later on. I believe it's at 4:45 that evening. I won't be, I'll be working, but I'll be there in the morning to pay my respects. And of course, Rangers came out with an announcement earlier on that we will do a wee minute silence tomorrow, as it's the closest game to the 2nd of January. I think it's something that a lot of other teams disregard and a lot of teams fans are ignorant towards.
Yeah, absolutely. And sometimes, I've got a personal story with my dad was at that game, and he witnessed it firsthand. And sometimes you lose sight of what's important, and I think sometimes we get caught in the excitement and the passion of results in the game, and we lose sight of what's really important, which is family and friends and loved ones. And on that fateful day, we lost so many. And what's tragic is if you go through the names and the ages as well, like it's tragic. So many young Rangers fans lost their life that day, and it's so important that we respect that and we remember it and we honour it.
Yeah. I mean, that day, 2nd of January, 66 Rangers fans went to an Old Firm game and never returned home. I think that's That's the main point that we're trying to make here. Celtic, and I'm not just singling out Celtic fans. A lot of other teams' fans seem to mock it as well. And I think there's a lot of things that are more important. There's a lot of things, as you just said, there's a lot of things that are much more important than football. And you're right, it's family, it's friends, and it's your health as well. So
yeah, I don't really want to talk about other clubs mocking it. It just brings my mood down. To be perfectly honest, I might say something I don't want to say live on air. So I just think it's important that no matter what any club, let other clubs do what they want. They bring shame to themselves. That's on them. I can only concentrate on my behaviour, and I can only try and influence what hopefully some Rangers fans do, all Rangers fans do, which is respect the memory of it. And I look forward to going to Everton on Friday myself as well. And I'm sure it'll be a poignant and respectful service, which it always is. So I had the privilege of doing it I've been there the last couple of years. And, really proud to be part of that. And look, you can never look forward to these things. It's not something to look forward to because of the reasoning behind it. But it's really, really important that we never forget and we always remember.
Yeah. But anyways, a very crucial Old Firm game coming up. I think we spoke a fair bit about it when we were speaking about the St Mirren game as well. Spoke about it a bit there. What do you guys think the score will be on Sunday?
Sunday?
No, Sunday, Saturday. Sorry, my bad. I'm used to
1-6 on Saturday. That's what
I'm used to Old Firm being the Sunday. It's thrown me off a wee bit. Actually, it's thrown me off.
Saturday. Oh, I'm gonna say 3-2 Rangers.
That's actually what I was gonna say.
I think I've got a feeling that I think it might be 0-0 again. I think you've got both teams that don't want to lose. I think
both teams that can't really afford to lose.
This game, to be fair. Get this right the right way. Couldn't even get that phrase round the right way, which is ironic. Try to get this round the right way. My heart says 3-1 to Rangers. My head says 2 each. That's really good, isn't it?
Yeah, well, the last few while I've been really nervous for this game. I'm really not looking forward to it, to be honest. I don't find myself looking forward to Old Firm games now. I just get a bit more nervous than excited, to be honest. In recent times, the Old Firm there in Ibrox, it was a bit of a it was a nothing game. It was a 0-0. It was a boring game. There was nothing big that happened in it. It was the first thing you seen that really in an Old Firm in a long time. That kind of sort of not killed my hope, because I'm not saying that I don't have hope for Saturday, but I'm not looking forward to it, I'll be honest with you. It's one of the only games that I actually don't look forward to in a season. There's an Old Firm at Parkhead.
I know. I actually think Old Firm games get a bit close to the edge a little bit.
I mean, yeah, I agree with that a bit.
It's one of these games where it just kind of comes around and then you think to yourself, right, that's it, not up 2 months, but just get the win. It's one of these ones. I don't care. Anyone.
Just win.
I think the win is crucial on Saturday. I think. I've seen a comment earlier. Take 4 points out the next 2 games. I wouldn't mind a draw, but you do really want to beat your rivals, especially. It's always that bit sweeter when it's away from home as well.
Yeah, I mean, I was talking previously that we could be joint with Celtic in the league, but we could actually also be we could actually end up 12 points behind them if we lose tomorrow night and lose on Saturday, and Celtic get a win tomorrow night. We could be 12 points behind Celtic, and we could be I think it'd be 15 behind Hearts.
Yeah.
At that stage, I think it's fair to say it's all but done. Well, not all but done for in terms of who wins the league, but all but done in terms of our hopes of winning the league. I think at that point.
I mean, as I say, in 5 days' time,
I mean,
slap bang. I still maintain we'll be favourites to win the league if we get 6 points in the next 2 games. Straight down if you want, that's fine. But I do maintain that. Otherwise, if we get less than 6 points, then just as maybe the third favourite still.
Yeah,
that's football for you. And I feel as if I'm just starting to repeat myself. I don't like doing the but well, viewers might be used to it anyway.
I've got a wee couple of shout outs I want to make. One I want to say is, unfortunately, Si told me that the unfortunate news that John Johnson died today from the Berridon Protestant boys, someone who was very well respected out in that side of the country, but also in the Rangers supporters sort of world and just in Scottish football, to be honest, someone who was well respected with Rangers fans, with Protestants and that's all sort of, that whole scene. So some very, very sad news I heard today about that. Obviously, you never like hearing that one of your own is no longer with us. Very sad news. I never knew him myself. Si knew him. I believe Si knew him well. He made sure that I did actually mention him tonight. So, yeah, I don't really want to comment too much on it because it's not something that I really know much about, and it's not someone that I know. So I just think it's right that we give our respects to a good friend of Si's and a good friend of the channels. You could probably arguably say. Another wee shout out I want to actually make is, I know he's probably sick of hearing it, but it's the first time I've actually got it up there, the QR code for it. As you are all probably aware, I'm doing up there. I hope you don't think I was doing anything dodgy with my arm.
It's over there to the right. Is that what you're saying?
As you probably all know, I'm doing a lot of fundraising for Sam H. Of course, doing a charity five-a-side game, then a wee sort of fundraising night, and the wee Rangers club afterwards. I'll put the posters up. It's pinned in my profile on Facebook. You'll find it, Lewis Miller, and it's also been posted on the Gers TV page a good few times. But the QR code is, sorry, I'm getting thrown off. Is up there in the top right. You'll see it down there. QR code in the top right to
just
donate
above my head
to Scottish Action. Yeah, just above Dylan's head.
I was just going to ask, can you tell the viewers what Sam H stands for? Or what
Sam H is the Scotland. Yeah, Sam H is the Scottish Action for Mental Health. It's a charity that's been going for over 100 years. One of Scotland's oldest charities, one of Britain's oldest charities as well. I believe actually Britain, or if not Britain, Scotland's oldest mental health charity. So they've been going around for a long time. Sam H have recently opened up a wee centre in Merchant City called the Nook, and they're looking to open up other nooks across Scotland in Clyde and Lanarkshire and Aberdeen, Edinburgh, I believe Inverness as well. And they can't do that without my support, without your support, without everybody's support in Scotland, because of course mental health is one of those pandemics. It's been a thing for a while, and it's one of those things there's a lot of stigma around talking about as well.
Yeah.
Myself, a lot of others as well out there, probably used to as well, have been through a fair bit of mental health issues. So it's a charity that means a lot to me, and it's a charity that's helped a lot with me. I'll be completely honest with that. It's a charity that's helped a lot with me. So it's something that I'm sort of paying back, because the work that Sam H are doing and have done previously in the past is exceptional, and I want to support them in the further work that they're trying to do.
Good man.
But yeah, anyways, and
the Black Bill.
Yeah, just before I do that, up there is the QR code. If you scan that, you'll be taken to the Just Giving page. Please donate, whether it's big or small. It's appreciated. It's always appreciated, no matter the amount it is. About the Black Bill, I don't think there's much I really need to tell you.
Tell us about what happens when you leave.
No, I'm not. Well, but as I usually say,
how you
leave happy and you leave with a smile on your face. I know you're going to laugh at that, and I don't mean it like that. I know you're thinking. You've been in the Black Bill quite a few times. You've been in the Black Bill quite recently.
I'm never out the Black Bill.
And you always leave a smile on your face, so
all the time. All the time.
There we go, Proofs in the pudding, as they say.
Yeah. Thank you all for watching tonight. I know we went a wee bit over the hour mark tonight. It is around 8:15. I think we're going to finish up after the long day. I've been here since 1:30 for the Alan Wardle interview as well, doing the behind the scenes. Si's not long left as well. So I just want to thank everyone for watching. Thank you for coming along, Gordy. Whether you were a wee few minutes late or not, that's okay. That's absolutely fine. And Dylan, thank you very much for your cooperation. Thank you very much. Always remember. Thanks everyone for watching. Always remember, we are
the